India is in transition. It throws everything at you at once.
The noise,
The traffic,
the people.
the smells.
It can feel like pure chaos, especially for first-timers like us. But spend enough time here and you begin to realize there's a rhythm to it. The Suppworks team, myself included, traveled from Houston to India to understand something that most people never even think about. Supplements.
But how do we really know where the ingredients originate?
This is where we design labels for supplements and other packaging and branding and stuff like that. Working as a brand builder in the supplement industry for the past 12 years, my co-host, Joey, and I have come to understand one thing about the American perspective on supplements. We buy them, we use them, we trust them. We wanted to learn about these health products that we see on our store shelves, and whether or not the companies providing the materials were legitimate, or if it's all just a bunch of marketing fluff. You see, India's role in the global supplement industry has grown quietly over the past decade. Botanical extracts, probiotics, Ayurvedic compounds, as well as packaging components. India is well known for dietary ingredients that brands use and put in their products that sell all over the world. But this story isn't just about pills, powders, or supply chains. So we boarded a flight to find out for ourselves.
It's kind of morning, I guess. I don't know what time it is where we're at, but we're pretty much over the Arabian Peninsula. Your breathing rate, heart rate, terrible sleep. I hope I'm okay.
After 18 plus hours in the air from Houston and a 3-hour layover in Dubai, we landed in Mumbai well after midnight. 22 straight hours of travel. This was just 2 weeks before the war in Iran would break out. But at the time, the world still felt relatively normal. The Mumbai airport was awake, busy for 3 a.m., restless even. And if there's one thing we learned immediately, India doesn't believe in queuing lines.
Sucks.
Yeah,
This really sucks.
there's not a lot of organization going on, but we're at the front of the line finally after like an hour. So one thing I would say, if you're going to come to India, be prepared, but it doesn't seem like even India is prepared. So
We've been in immigration line for like over an hour, and we haven't even gotten our checked bags yet.
Back home in the United States, airports run on a very specific kind of order. There's ropes, signs, queues. Everyone sheepishly abides by them. India Airports, however, has its own system. The rules, they're optional. Waiting for us outside was our friend Uday. Uday was the reason this trip existed in the first place. A year earlier, he had traveled to Houston to join us on our supplement podcast, The Suppworks.
Let's do the Goldilocks. We'll do a Goldilocks assortment of ingredient manufacturers, contract manufacturers, and let's throw in raw material like farms. I think that'd be awesome. All right, so like
Perfect place to be.
perfect place to be.
So you should document that.
Oh, absolutely.
During that conversation, he made a pretty convincing case. If we really wanted to understand the global health industry, we needed to see India. And he promised us something else. If we came, he would handle everything. He would help us plan the trip and set up visits, guide us through the country, translate when needed, and most importantly, make sure we experienced the real India, not the one you see on Instagram. The first test of that promise came almost immediately after stepping foot outside of the Mumbai airport. Even getting an Uber in the city isn't always straightforward. At 4 a.m, the airport pickup area was already buzzing with drivers. Some official Ubers, vetted by the Uber app, some less official. Eventually we climbed into what was technically our Uber, a beat-up van, no air conditioning, and a smell that suggested it had been lived in by the driver. It was our first taste of transportation in India. And before we could process much of anything, we were off down the streets of Mumbai, headed to a day-stay hotel so we could drop off our luggage, grab a bite to eat, and prepare for the day ahead. After being immersed in the chaos outside, the hotel felt almost surreal. Quiet, clean, and orderly, the staff greeted us with kind of warmth that India is known for. And within minutes, we were sitting down at our first meal in Mumbai. Our first real introduction to India came in a small cup Chai. Sweet, spiced, hot. In India, tea isn't just a drink. It's a daily ritual. And like many things here, it tends to bring people together.
All right, so freshened up a little bit. This is our hotel that we got up here. It's kind of like a condo. It's kind of cool. I'll show you around. If those are interested, if you're doing any business travel, this is a cool spot that's specifically meant for sort of like international business travel. So it's not as much like culture shock. Uday hooked us up with a really cool like 2-bedroom apartment condo sort of thing with a little kitchenette. So I took a shower, still haven't slept yet. So we're just gonna go walk around and sort of see what we can get into, at least for the morning. If you eat something that your body's not accustomed to while you're under duress and stress, it can create issues with your gastrointestinal system. So really, we're here to just acclimate you. And that's it, just the first 24 to 36 hours. It's so, watch your step. Like that. Like that's literally India right there.
Yeah, we're on the street where like could just very well get ran over.
As long as you're vigilant in the first 24 to 36 hours, and you can survive a 2-week, 3-week tour in India with no real issues. But that's my job. My job is to get you guys acclimated.
After breakfast, we decided to take a walk down the hill from the hotel. And that's when Mumbai really introduced itself. Even at 7 a.m., the streets were alive. Shops were opening, vendors setting up, motorcycles weaving through traffic, horns constantly reminding everyone that space here is negotiable. And everywhere you looked, there was contrast. Poverty next to wealth, luxury cars next to street carts, old buildings leaning up against new glass towers. And then there was us, a couple of foreigners in strange clothes, walking down a street littered with chaos, holding cameras. Mumbai doesn't hide its complexity. It puts everything on display, all at once. After the walk, we got in a rented day cab and headed across the bay to Navi Mumbai, a somewhat planned, modern, yet somewhat disheveled extension of the city. Navi Mumbai, which translates to New Mumbai, is home to India's emerging professional workforce. The drive itself told a story. Crowded streets and aging buildings that seemed to lack utilities, polluted air and tangled power lines. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, world-class office towers, modern infrastructure, and residential towers that look like they could belong in almost any global city. India, turns out, is many different countries from many different time periods, all happening at the same time. Inside one of those towers, we arrived at the shared offices of 2 companies we had loose affiliation with. There was Papchem, a company that distributes minerals, salts, and vitamins to B2B businesses around the world, and UgoBeyond, which is Uday's company, a sales and distribution brokerage business that connects India ingredient manufacturers with supplement brands and manufacturers in the United States. In many ways, this small office represents the modern business climate. Small teams, global reach, and constant communication between continents. The office itself was modest but effective 3-room workspace with a small reception area. Papchem's day-to-day operations are mostly performed by 4 women, all of whom are in their 20s. All are college educated. All are part of the new generation entering India's workforce. The kind of behind-the-scenes work that keeps modern businesses running. In an industry historically dominated by men, their presence was another sign that things here are changing. For lunch, they took us out to one of the most famous restaurants in Navi Mumbai. We just got to a restaurant with our correspondents here in India, and we have Bhumi here. She's ordering for us, so they're trying to figure out what we're going to eat. We haven't really eaten much today, so they're figuring out what to eat right now. When making decisions here, everyone here kind of like talks it through and works together and corresponds, and it's very democratic. A lot different in sort of our world where you got a lot of ego. People will just kind of say what they want, what they're going to do, and they just do it. Here, everyone kind of like talks it out, agrees on it. And it's everything from getting into a car to I think everything we've done so far has like had some sort of like, consensus, like, yeah. I think there's a... And this is where India really begins to make sense. Around a table. Food arrived quickly. Various vegetarian dishes layered with spices we were only beginning to recognize, complemented with naan. And something called chas, a thick, tangy yogurt drink locals swear by, somewhere between a beverage and a digestive reset. Over lunch, we talked with our hosts. We talked about their lengthy and advanced education,
So in my college, I had this project where we were trying to increase the iron content of the plant. So water spinach is like treated like a weed in Southeast Asia. It's not like taken more care of. In India, we do have spinach, but it also has very limited quantity of iron.
Yeah.
So many Indians have vitamin B deficiency, and like there's a good market space also. Also, vitamin B has, I think, like P5P, which you said, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, which we sell, it's the active form. So it's more easy to digest, more easy to get absorbed in the body.
This new generation is eager to redefine what opportunity looks like. Confident, highly skilled, and highly educated. One can say entrepreneurial even. The ladies of Papchem represent the face of a changing India and the future of the global dietary industry. After lunch, it was time to be on the move again. So we said our goodbyes and loaded into the cabbie we rented for the day. Next stop, Pune, the industrial hub of Maharashtra, about a 3 hours drive away from Navi Mumbai. The drive out of town gave us our first real chance to slow down since landing. Jet lag caught up with us, and somewhere along the bumpy start and stop highway journey, all packed into a small van full of luggage, we fell asleep. When we finally arrived in Pune, it was already dark, abruptly awakened by the sounds of the city, another surprisingly impressive hotel, another round of warm greetings from staff. India, we were learning, has a way of exhausting you and welcoming you at the same time.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, what's like your inner dialogue saying? Like, for example, walking the streets yesterday.
Walking the streets was, at first it just got more and more intense. That's really how it did. Like at first I was like, this is cool, and I was like, oh shit, we're overwhelmed by just so much going on around you.
And I don't know if that was the slums or not the slums.
Yeah, I mean,
slums for us.
Yeah, I mean, definitely like extreme poverty. Like I've never really been like just casually chilling in, but that was just like a regular neighborhood. I don't know.
Yeah.
So definitely like a lot of trash and a lot of garbage everywhere. Dogs, animals, people, like interactions. Obviously, we stuck out like a sore thumb, so that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Just being so like you walk down the street and everyone's noticing you. I didn't feel threatened. Like I didn't feel like at any moment like I was like in
I had
danger.
a couple people, like as I was walking down the street, they would come up, get real close,
Yeah.
and then
Walk
go
up.
away. And I thought that was interesting.
You were wearing those red contacts, so that was a choice.
And I'll do it again.
Before the day began, we did something familiar. We trained. There was something reassuring about that.
Oh, me like it.
After getting a pump in, it was time to clean up and head to our first visit of the day, a plastics manufacturing facility just outside of Pune. Outside Pune lies a district called Mahalung. This is where the industrial side of India reveals itself. Less romantic, less visible, but no less important. This is the world of components, manufacturing, and infrastructure. The place where the things that hold modern commerce together are actually made. Cars and parts, industrial equipment, packaging. The metal bracket thing that holds your refrigerator together. Otherwise, the bones of the global economy. Industrial workers here in Mahalung will work 6 days a week. They are mandated to take off Thursdays and typically work through the weekends. We were driven to the facility by Prayesh and Ninad, a younger married couple. Young, educated, confident, Ninad's father had founded the plastic blow molding business several decades ago and was actively teaching Ninad and Priyasha how to run the family business, a passing of the torch at play. The couple is somewhere in the age group between late millennial and Gen Z, the next generation of a family plastics business. That alone told us something. Just like we had seen in Mumbai the day before, there was a pattern emerging. India's future isn't being handed off reluctantly. It's already being built by a younger generation stepping into serious responsibility. They showed us samples first, including some of the supplement tubs we had been developing ourselves. A strange but satisfying moment. To travel halfway around the world and see your own work sitting in a display case in Pune, then naturally, we sat down for chai and snacks. Because in India, even business begins with hospitality. Before entering the facility, we went through the usual protocols. Covered our shoes, hair nets on, the kind of procedures anyone in manufacturing would want to see. And what we found inside was impressive. It was clean, controlled, and orderly. A proper GMP environment. Not the improvised, chaotic version of manufacturing some people in the West might imagine when they think of the overseas production. This was a serious operation. It was disciplined and built to serve global brands with global standards. The plant specializes in HDPE plastics, both blow molding and injection blow molding. For most people, packaging is an afterthought. It's a bottle, it's a cup, it's a cap, whatever. Something you open up and throw away. But standing in a plant like this, you start to appreciate the precision behind something so seemingly ordinary. The process is mesmerizing. The heated HDPE resin softens into something like a molten mass. Then the mold closes, air is forced in, the plastic expands, forms itself against the cavity, cools almost instantly, and emerges as a finished shape. Not quite done though. Each newly formed tub still needs human hands. A worker trims the excess plastic, checks the finish, makes sure the final piece is clean, usable, and ready for the next stage. This is what manufacturing really looks like. Machines, yes, but also attention, repetition, people. Once formed, the tubs moved into packaging and staging, and here again the discipline stood out. Everything handled carefully, everything staged to minimize contamination. Because for supplement packaging, cleanliness isn't optional. A finished tub may look simple, but if it's going to hold something intended for human consumption, the standards have to be high. The product inside may get the credit, but the component that protects it matters too. Then we visited the quality and R&D room.
So, this is an hourly process that we do here, but each and every bottle is checked and then packed. If you've noticed inside, there is one person sitting next to the machine, checking each and every bottle for any spots or anything like that, and then packing. So every bottle is checked. This is 100% checking.
This is the part that most consumers never see or think about. Every so often, production samples are pulled and tested for size, for thickness, and color consistency, also weight. Everything is measured. Everything is documented. Retains are stored as control samples. Records are filed and organized. It's not glamorous, but this is what separates real manufacturing from guesswork: consistency and traceability. It was another reminder that the global supplement industry depends on far more than ingredients alone. By the time we left, one thing was clear. India wasn't just a place where ingredients come from. It was a place where high-level component manufacturing was happening too. Our next meeting was only a few kilometers away, which in India can still mean an hour in traffic. But this time, our host had sent a car. A gesture we assumed would be polite and practical. Maybe a sedan or maybe a SUV. Instead, a Mercedes Maybach pulled up. A true symbol of wealth anywhere in the world. We grabbed lunch at a fusion restaurant in downtown Pune. Again, mostly vegetarian options. The baked cauliflower was outstanding. Somewhere along the way, we also consumed what felt like an irresponsible number of Red Bulls. And with enough caffeine in our system to power a small district, we headed downtown. Our destination was the headquarters of the Suyash Group, a holding company with interests across raw materials, ingredients, manufacturing materials, manufacturing machinery, and warehousing. The deeper we looked, the more connected everything became. As it turned out, Suyash Group also owned Papchem, the office we had visited the day before in Navi Mumbai. And at the center of it all was Dr. Ravi, alongside his son, Harshad Patil, the heir apparent to the business. It was another version of the same theme we were beginning to recognize everywhere.
My field is mechanical engineering, not chemistry or anything like. I started with a partnership. The Chinese material started coming in India at a very cheap rate. So my business which I started, suddenly it has collapsed. Then we acquired a similar two companies who are there in nutraceuticals, vitamin, minerals. And we have our own chemical equipment manufacturing division also, where we manufacture chemical equipments also, in metal as well as in polymer also. So these are the three divisions. Now all three divisions are successfully running. I did my graduation and post-graduation, Master of Technology in Mechanical Engineering. Then last year I did my Global Leadership Program from Harvard Business School. This my son who is joined in 2017. He came from IIT Chicago. He has rejoined the business. Now we are having a very good time in pharmaceutical, nutraceutical, vitamin, minerals to the American market. And in certain products we have established ourselves in a very good way.
One generation builds, the next prepares to scale. Dr. Ravi told us what could only be described as a 20-year overnight success story. A journey from poverty and debt to building an empire of business, supporting both the pharmaceutical and dietary supplement industries. Stories like that are easy to flatten into cliche. Bootstrap, perseverance. But sitting there in Pune, hearing it firsthand, it felt more complex than that. Because what he was really talking about wasn't just wealth. It was leadership, responsibility, an obligation to create opportunities for others. One of Dr. Ravi's core beliefs was that India's future depends on its youth, and that young people need more than employment. They need direction, mentorship, permission to think bigger. His goal, he told us, was not just to create employees, but to help create future business owners. That idea stayed with us, because it echoed something we had already started seeing all over India. The country's transformation, it isn't just economic, it's generational. Then came the ride back to the hotel. Still in the Maybach, still in traffic. Only now it was prime time for traffic. And if there's one place luxury loses some of its calming effect, it's an Indian rush hour. Cars squeezed through spaces that didn't look real. Near misses that felt routine. Constant motion, constant noise. The kind of driving that forces you to either surrender or sweat. And we did a little bit of both. By the end of the day, Pune had given us a clearer picture of what modern India really is. Not just a source of raw materials, not just a place of tradition, but a country building things, components and systems, companies and futures. The factory floor had shown us discipline, the boardroom had showed us ambition. And both were being shaped by a generation preparing to take India somewhere new. The next morning we woke up in Pune and headed downstairs to the lobby.
So when food has a purpose and eat things at the right time, that's why the South Indians tend to be a little slender. You'll see them, they actually tend to be taller.
Oh, yeah?
You'll see a lot more 6 feet tall people down south.
Really?
Yeah.
4x and setup.
Thank you.
Coming, sir.
So tell us about what happened last night when you guys went out with AccuPack.
Yeah, it was really nice being able to go out and just like socialize. But what's cool is they're like young, like young entrepreneurs and well educated. But it was cool to go out into like that environment. The nightlife is obviously like it's very similar to back home. There's a lot of young people in their 20s, getting food, eating, having drinks, talking, socializing. Not really all that different from outing with your friends in your 20s back home. So, it was really cool to just sit down and casually be able to talk to them about the things that their ambitions, and also just like their daily routines and sort of like the things that they like and don't like and stuff like that. It's just cool to know.
So we were wondering about that. Was that a bit of a power move there at the end where you're like, oh, we're going to load up in this Maybach, just so you guys know what's up?
It's definitely not a power move. It's definitely not a power move, but it's definitely a flex.
Yeah.
It's a flex. It's a non-verbal cue. Like, this is who we are. Like, this is how we roll.
Yeah.
But see, the car was sent for us.
Right.
It would have been. There are people that would have showed up in a Maybach and then brought a second car and put us in the second car.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an unusual move in India. Like, that would have been a negotiation ploy. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how. Like, that would have been a Don move.
Yeah.
But they're very graceful about things with their status. They have a lot of what he. See, and also the context is that he's a 25-year overnight success.
Yeah.
And so what that means to him is so much different than maybe.
That's like that self-made from the mud sort of shit, yeah.
Versus a rocket ship to the top kind of thing.
Or inherited.
Yes.
Legacy, yeah. And that's kind of what I noticed is
So he started the family legacy, which is a lot different than walking into the family legacy.
Yeah, and the number of family members that are in his family that he has uplifted, what he represents to tens and tens of families. But it's not like he's the one that teaches you how to fish. he's that kind of leader and mentor and father and father-in-law. And like even with me, like he'll look at me and like he has some kind of telepathy. Like
whenever we walked up to him, because he introduced himself to us before you were there, before his son was there, before anyone was there.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm Rob. Like, obviously you see three gringos walking up in this restaurant, like, that's them.
Yeah. Now he has like a true purpose in terms of he's always been a seeker.
Waiting outside was our driver. Only this time, a different car. The thing is, we never asked for a driver. We had planned to call an Uber, maybe a taxi, but Dr. Ravi insisted. In India, there is a phrase you often hear, Atiti Devo Bhava, a Sanskrit expression that translates to, the guest is God. Hospitality here isn't just politeness. It's culturally embedded into the fabric of society. And as the trip continued, we would see this idea play out again and again. The drive back to Mumbai took about 3 hours, just enough time to take in the changing scenery again. What's up, guys? Thank you for watching so far part 1 of the India series. We're currently editing part 2. It's a little long of a video. It's over an hour long, so I decided to cut it in half, do half segments, part 1, part 2. Easier to digest, easier to edit, easier to upload. That'll be coming soon. Thank you for watching so far. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. We have a lot more of this stuff to come out where we're doing some traveling and we're going to show people business experiences and opportunities all over the world and how that kind of relates to the supplement industry. We're actually going to India next week to go film some more content because we have some new business opportunities that have opened up, so we're going to document that. And we also went to Panama a couple weeks ago, in which we did an expose about the Cappy plant and ayahuasca and how that may translate to dietary supplements in the future. That one's going to be really interesting. So look forward to some new content coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe.